Hello folks, this is Nathan Tusi with Winner's Edge Trading and today's daily review. Just want to get started here with the news and see what we got going on. First of all, if you're watching this before the 4th, because today is the 3rd, you have 9:30 p.m. Australian news tonight, so make sure that you pay attention to that. It seems that lately the odd nightly news is being pretty effective in the market. It tends to move the market quite a bit, so keep an eye on that. And then tomorrow you'll see that we have 4:30 pound news, and then again news in the evening. And also remember that tomorrow is a United States holiday, the 4th of July or Memorial Day. So that's a bank holiday, and there's not a lot of U.S. action going on, so the markets could be pretty dry, pretty uneventful for tomorrow. So keep that in mind as well. Look at our terms and see that we are following the rules that the government put in place, and this is for educational purposes only. It's not us telling you what to do with your money, so on and so forth. Make sure you understand these rules and these terms set forth by the governing forces. Okay, and then let's jump into the charts. You can see that Euro made somewhat of a retracement today, but nothing extremely significant. Came up and about centered, and has been sitting there now for a good amount of time. So not a lot going on there. It doesn't seem like Euro is quite ready to follow through in one direction or the other. It's been in below the 127 area, but hasn't really been able to break out one direction or the other. So it's kind of been sitting in this area, which is a little bit wider channel than what we normally consider tight consolidation, but still. It looks similar to when we were up here. We weren't really able to break out one way or the other. We kind of had this triangle going on, and eventually when it did break out, it was a pretty nice movement, which you see there. So we got something similar going on here. It's not that price isn't moving; it's just not moving a lot in one direction or the other. So I'm thinking that what is likely to happen here is for it to stay in this channel a little while longer and head down, maybe not all the way to the bottom of the channel, but to some extent, and bounce back up and probably stick in this channel for a little while longer before we see a breakout. That's what I would expect. But it's just something that you got to keep an eye on and kind of wait for your signal, because at this point it just doesn't seem like anything's very concrete right now. Pound dollar is kind of the same way, where it hasn't really made a move after its power bar. We had this massive bullish bar, and then the next 2 days following it, pretty weak. Now remember that this isn't a major resistance area. A lot of points here you see, so it is in a resistance area, and it's probably what's going on here is that you have kind of the battle of the people trying to push the price through this level, and the people who have money in the market playing these resistance and trying to push the price back down. So because of that kind of fight going back and forth there, you see that pound dollar really isn't moving very much. So again, it's just something that probably is best to wait on and get a more clear signal there. Okay, Australia did break our level here, so you see that we were looking at this level for quite some time, and it did break through there, a little tail here, and then kind of a follow-through bar here. So that, for me, makes me think that the Australian strength is perhaps for real, and something that might be worth trading with and investing in. It looks like this little rally here is pretty significant. Okay, so keep your eyes on odd. If you scroll back here, you do see that this level is a pretty heavy level that it broke through. So for me, that means that there's definitely some odd strength. USDCAD followed through pretty nicely today. Yesterday was a stall bar, but today's bar followed through pretty nice, and it looks like we are probably going to come back down into this major level. Now, that's obviously not for certain because even within just this little area, there's some serious resistance points. But I do think that this level, especially near parity, is really kind of sucking price in. So I would not be surprised if price did come all the way down to parity or even lower with the bearish momentum that it has now. New Zealand dollar is kind of hanging up right above this level. It did break it, the level that I was looking at, but then it kind of stalled out today. So this is kind of a doji or a stall bar here, and what I'm looking for is price to jump back up to this level and then see what it does at this level. So first it broke through this level, now it's kind of hanging around, and then I'd like to wait for it to break this level. So that's what I'm watching right now in New Zealand dollar. Unfortunately, with New Zealand dollar, if you didn't get a short up here at the break, or you didn't take a long at the bottom, there hasn't really been a lot of good trade signals for me because there's just a lot of levels here to watch out for and things to, because you don't want to take a long normally when there's so much resistance in your way. But of course, you don't want to take a short based on this resistance level, in case it does break and get up back into this channel, and then you're just stuck in a short for no good reason. So it's kind of tricky to trade New Zealand dollar at this point, but that's just kind of how pairs tend to be every once in a while. So you just gotta wait and move on to the next pair. And our next pair is Euro Pound. Euro Pound again is just kind of fighting right below this break. It's not doing a whole lot. It's interesting because I kind of drew this upward channel here where it broke and it is kind of hanging below it. But if you draw things a different way, that's what's amazing about the market. You can draw things a lot of different ways. You can kind of draw this where it looks like it's continuing that last leg of that downtrend, and just fighting with this base here. So you kind of get a descending triangle. Now that's not how I saw it originally, but I know that Casey mentioned that's kind of the way he's looking at it, is that we have a descending triangle type pattern, and he's waiting for a break to the downside to show continuation of bearish Euro Pound movement. So that's another way to look at it, maybe a more accurate way to look at it than kind of what I was looking at it, where I thought it was kind of trying to build a base to the upside but was cracked. Maybe this is really a better pattern for what we're actually seeing here. So could expect it to tighten up a little bit more and then break out one way or the other, and then we might get a nice trade opportunity on Euro Pounds. Now EURAUD is a trade that we talked about a good while ago. It's just following through pretty nicely. Because euro hasn't been very strong, but AUD is showing a lot of strength. Just the bearish sentiment for EURAUD is pretty heavy, and so for me, I don't see any reason why it wouldn't come down and touch this area down at 120, 130 area, because it really, that's the next major level, and it is showing a lot of momentum. It seems like AUD is gaining strength for sure. So that's something that I'm watching for, a continuation of that. And I would expect that to come all the way down and touch that level. EURCAD's kind of the same thing. Whoops, that's odd again. Let me go back to EURCAD. EURCAD's kind of the same deal, except for there's a huge level here that we've been looking at. So whereas EURAUD is, there's a lot of bearishness in it because of euro weakness and odd strength, EURCAD is fighting with a level, even though euro is pretty weak and CAD is trying to gain some strength. So you can see here that we've somewhat broken the level before, but retraced right back into it. And this is a major triangle that's just been trying to break. You see the wicks, all the wicks that have tried to break it to the upside, and all the times that it's tried to get down to the downside, but has not had a successful break and continuation thus far. So I'm certainly keeping my eye on this, really waiting for this break, because I think once we do get a break to the downside, we could possibly get a very high probability short to this next level, and that's what I'm kind of expecting with a bearish break there. Okay, Pound New Zealand is the last thing I want to look at because I always like to talk about Pound New Zealand and just the amount of pips it moves and the kind of entries you can get in. I'm short on it now in this account. You can see I'm up about 186 pips right now, and I'm actually going to move my stop up to break even here. This is just a demo account, just so you guys know. So move my stop into a little bit of profit there. Just a demo account that I've been trading, testing some different strategies on, but it's fun to trade with demo accounts just to try things. So you see that we're definitely still bearish on Pound New Zealand, and if you draw some lines here, you can see that there's definitely some levels. Like we broke this level, and then you have this level here, which has a few points in it if you look back here, and then of course you have this major level at the bottom, or this level here, depending on how you look at it. Also that level. So definitely still some major resistance in the way, but it does look like the Pound New Zealand trend is overwhelming, because even on a day where New Zealand wasn't very strong, like today, and Pound was somewhat, a little bit better shape than it was yesterday, it still didn't move to the upside. It still didn't make a comeback. So for me, that just instilled a lot of confidence in this downtrend, in this continuation, and we just have a really solid movement since the top where we talked about these double tops up here. We've moved down about 1,500 pips. So a lot of movement for Pound New Zealand, and if you if you can catch it when it really is moving a lot, then you can earn a lot of money in a hurry. It doesn't take much time to get a lot of pips with Pound New Zealand, which is what I like about it. Okay, and that's about it for my daily analysis. Hopefully that was helpful, watching some of those key areas, and make sure that you are aware of the bank holiday tomorrow in the States. Certainly could affect the volatility and movement in the market, so keep an eye on that. Alright, I will talk to you guys soon. Hopefully you enjoy this week and enjoy your trading, and if you're if you're celebrating Memorial Day, have a great Memorial Day, and we'll see you soon.